Hello and welcome back to my channel, Tied for Initiative. Today I'm going to do my very first review. First of all, let's get this out of the way. I'm not being paid. I bought my own copy. This is just a module that I ran once and I have a few insights. Second of all, if you are a player, especially one who's coming to HatchCon 2025, please don't go any further. This adventure, Aberrant Reflections, is put out by Direct Sun Games and is for old school role-playing games such as OSE, AD&D, Basic D&D, any of the other retro clones will do. The game is set in a very interesting dungeon. The dungeon has two factions to it. One is the dungeon you can see, and the other is a mirror universe. You can see the map here. It shows a map, and if you look very carefully, you'll be able to see some purple areas. Those are areas that are only visible in reflective surfaces, thus the title. Now, this is a really fun concept because the characters have to figure out, first of all, that there's things that they can't perceive. And second of all, they have to figure out ways to interact with them because only if they can see them or if they are somehow in the mirror universe can they interact with those items. But don't worry. There are a few items, magic items, that you can find in the dungeon that will help you to interact with the reflections. I also allowed my player characters to think on their feet. We used the characters from Stranger Things playing the classes that they would play in their own D&D game. So if one of the characters was an illusionist and had a wand of illusion, so she was able to put a marker or an illusion around some of the objects, which allowed them to become real enough to touch and thus be gathered. So a lot of the treasure, the rooms, and other things are located in the mirror universe. There's a lot of interesting stories that came from that play, such as one of the tunnels is a stitched together sort of Frankenstein flesh tunnel. And one of the characters decided it would be an interesting idea to let off a torch and oil bomb in that tunnel, which I decided was going to create a gaseous explosion. So I announced to all of my players, please save versus fart, and laughter erupted around the table. The dungeon ends in a way that's quite interesting and left open to the players' consideration. They'll find the object of the dungeon, the falling star, which turns out actually to be the power core for a spaceship. And when they reach it, they're actually able to activate the spaceship and go wherever they want, perhaps into some sort of spelljammer scenario, or maybe into another world. And in the case of the way that I intend to run it at HatchCon, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon characters will be from the cartoon series will be the player characters, and this can be their final way home if they choose to take it. Anyway, that's all I really have for right now. If you like a good old school dungeon with a unique twist on it, go ahead and go to Direct Sun Games website and pick this one up. Thank you and have a great day.